Hey guys, Sea to Summit Cycling here again. You're probably wondering, what the heck are we doing in my kitchen? And why the heck does this guy have candle stuff in front of us? I thought this was a bike channel. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. So you just got your new pegs on. You're ready to go out and cop a street session on that brand new ledge you found. But you just realize you and your buddies don't have any skate wax. Well, if you're like me, my local bike shop doesn't even sell skate wax. So you jump on Dan's Comp. The bar skate wax is going to run you about $6 plus the cost of shipping, not to mention the time for them to process and ship your order. You're looking at 3 to 4 days. Those new pegs are sitting there. You want to get grinding. So what the heck are you going to do? Well, for not very much money at all, I can show you how to make skate wax. It's honestly going to be just as good, if not better, than what you're going to spend your hard-earned money on. Or your mom's. I don't know. It's your life, man. So you're only going to need a couple things. So there's kind of two different routes you can take. You can use this candle wax that you put in like a warmer. Side note, don't buy Scentsy brand. Buy the cheapest brand you can find. It all is going to slide the same. This is just happens to be the kind that I actually use in my house. Or you can go for the cheaper option, which is probably these little tea light candles. It'll take more to do it, but like I said, you can buy a whole bag of this for like what one of these will cost. So honestly, it's all up to you. Pro tip, you can incorporate glitter. So we got this ugly, nasty ball of wax in this plastic container. So what I actually do is I have the warmers in my house for these Scentsy blocks. So when I'm ready to change out the wax and put a new scent in, I actually just dump them in this container. It's a super awesome life hack, and if your mom or your significant other or you have them around the house, try to do this if you're wanting to continue making your own skate wax. It will literally save your life. Assuming that you don't have a wax warmer in your house, that's fine. Still get a clear plastic container that you don't mind getting ruined. Go ahead and throw your cubes of your wax in there, or if you're using the candle method, go ahead and grab your little candles. These little candles should pull right out of the metal little casing that they're in. You can just grab the wick and kind of give them a little tug. And then if you see that metal thing back there, if you just can hook your nail under that, it'll pull the wick right out like so. So now you just have the wax. So you just want to take that and boom, magic. Next thing you want to do is get a pot bigger than the plastic container you're using, like so. So like I know that'll fit down in there pretty well. And you're going to want to fill it with water. Side note, don't put the wax directly in the pot. It will stick to the pot no matter how well you try to get it out. You will ruin your pot. So take your pot over to the sink. Fill it up with water. It doesn't have to be a lot. Just enough to where like the wax is going to float in there. Your wax in your clear container is going to float in there. So you want, I don't know, probably an inch or so depending on the size of pot you're going to use. Just enough to kind of like be able to submerge the wax in there when you press down on it. So I got like, I don't know, an inch and a half in there. That should be good. So come back over to the stove. Alright, so get your water on there. Put it on like a low heat. I got mine on 2 right now. You don't want it to like boil. You're just trying to slowly melt that wax. And then take your cup of wax and just set it right down in that water. You want to make sure it doesn't get right up against the edge just because you don't want it to melt the actual like plastic container that it's in. And then just leave it. Keep an eye on it. It'll take a while. This isn't like something you want to rush. Can't rush perfection, guys. So I got my wax on. It's melting down right now. So you're going to need a container or like a mold to put this in. Honestly, this is totally up to you. You can go for something like this, which is actually what I use. It's just an old butter dish. It's actually like my wax mold. You can see down in there is like the remnants from my last wax batch. Or you can go for like ice cubes. I got a buddy who does that. He'll make them in like an ice cube tray, and then he'll literally just like break one out to throw in his pocket when he goes riding. That's pretty clever. I haven't ever done that. the one thing you got to know is like whatever you use your wax in, like that's going to be ruined afterwards. Like, I mean, you can run like super hot water over it and really scrub it, but for the most part, like whatever you use on it is going to be ruined. So this glitter is like a side thing. You totally don't have to do this, but it's totally style points if you do. Once you get your wax like basically all the way melted, you can take one of these colors, whichever one you prefer, and just sprinkle it in the wax, and it'll add like a nice glittery like shine to your wax. Like I said, totally not necessary. Also, sorry, I know my house is kind of a wreck. I know one of you guys is gonna point that out. There for about 5 minutes, and as you can see, it's starting to melt down. If you want to speed up the process a little bit, you can touch the sides and kind of push it down. Don't push it all the way to the bottom to where like the plastic container is setting on the bottom of the pan, because it could melt it. Just enough to where like the water kind of comes up on the side of the wax a little bit more if you didn't maybe put enough wax in there, or I'm sorry, enough water in there, because the container will float. If you see the minute I pick up on it, it comes up. And this should help speed up the process a little bit. I'll check back in with you guys once this gets fully melted. So once you get to where it's mostly all melted, you can go ahead and add your glitter. And once again, you totally don't have to do this. It's totally an optional thing. But just take the color of your choice, cut that shit, don't let it fall into the pan, which it did. Sick. Awesome. Alright, I chose black for this. So you're just wanting to sprinkle it inside? No way. Yo, this totally is not going my way. I guess that's what happens when you film this shit at 3 in the morning. Alright, so you got your glitter in there. Just kind of give it a shake. Shake, shake, shake. It'll mix in itself, but... Alright guys, so I added my glitter. That was a catastrophe. As you can see, this is almost done. It came out sort of like a blackish, really dark green color. That's all going to be based off of what color wax you use. Mine was mostly green, so it's obviously coming out this darker green color. If you're using the tea light candles, the cheaper option, you can add like food coloring if you want, just to give it like a little bit of a personal effect, just like the glitter. But again, like the glitter, and if you choose to add food coloring, that's all just like a personal twist if you decide to start doing this option over buying skate wax from, say, Dan's Comp. I'm going to let this melt down a little bit more, and then I'll get ready and show you guys what putting it in the mold's all about. Alright guys, so our wax is pretty much melted down into a liquid state, as you can see. And I'm going to get ready and dump it into our mold. Again, the mold's totally personal preference. Whatever you choose for how much you're wanting to make and what size and shape. Shout out Country Crock, sponsoring your boy. Not really, but for real though, Country Crock, hit up your boy. Okay, so I should have said this at the beginning. You know, if you're a younger viewer, please consult with an older person or a parent or guardian before doing this. It's not like super dangerous or anything, but you are working with a hot wax. It's definitely not something you want to dump all over your kitchen or all over yourself. It could cause severe burns. But if you use the water thing, like I stated, the plastic really shouldn't be hot. As you can see, I can pick that up without any problem. So what you want to do is carefully pick that up, pick up your wax container, and slowly dump it into your mold. Make sure to get all that glitter in there. If you really want a lot of glitter, you can go back and sprinkle a little bit over the top right now and be like a nice crust. So you're going to want to let that set for a little bit. I'm actually going to speed up this process by slowly moving this into my kitchen, or I'm sorry, into my fridge. I'll check back with you in a little bit once it's hardened up. So I just pulled the wax out of the fridge. You don't want it to cool completely because it'll be pretty hard to get out of the container. So get it when it's still like a little bit soft to the touch, and then just kind of like break around the edges to make it a little bit easier to get out. And then you want to just kind of flip it over, give it a firm press, and it'll take a little bit of effort to get out. Alright guys, so there you go, you got your bar of wax. The whole process takes about 25 to 30 minutes, but it is a very easy process. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next time.